God gifted these zodiac signs with a sixth sense. Have you ever had a feeling that something was going to happen, and it actually happened? A sudden inner, don't go there, don't talk to that person, or the opposite, a strange attraction to someone or something. It's not a coincidence, it's a sixth sense, and some have it so well developed that it becomes part of their nature. These people see more than others. They read emotions, sense lies, sense events before they happen. Today you will find out which zodiac signs are blessed with this rare gift. It's not just intuition, it's a direct connection with the invisible, with what others don't even notice. And maybe you are one of them. Watch until the end, because in this video you will not only find out who received the sixth sense from God himself, but you will also begin to better understand your own power. And now, interactive. Write in the comments, has it ever happened to you that you had a premonition of something, and it came true? I read all the stories. Subscribe to the channel if you want to discover more in yourself than you knew about yourself before this day. Everything starts with awareness, and you're already on this path. First sign, Cancer. Cancer doesn't just have a sixth sense, it's built into his blood, his breath, the very structure of his consciousness. This is not intuition in the usual sense. This is an ancient, hidden radar that works long before events, before words, before actions. A representative of this sign senses the approach of change, like an animal senses the approach of a thunderstorm. He may not know how exactly this or that will happen, but the feeling inside him hums, grows, transmits an anxious or inspiring impulse. God has awarded Cancer with a magical perception of the field of other people. He enters the space, and immediately knows who is in front of him. Even if they smile, even if they pretend, Cancer feels cold, pain, falsehood. You can't fool him with the outside. He does not believe in words, he hears between them. The peculiarity of his gift is that it works not through logical constructions, but through feelings. Emotions for Cancer are the language that the universe speaks. He can cry without knowing why, and then a disaster happens, and everything falls into place. He can laugh, as if for no reason, and in a couple of hours joy comes. His reaction is ahead of time. He has a premonition, sometimes so vividly that he is frightened of himself. Many Cancers in childhood were sure that something is wrong with them, that they feel more than they should. But in fact, it was a form of protection. Their sixth sense saves, takes away, warns. If Cancer trusts himself, he will never find himself in a trap. His body reacts before his mind. He can refuse a trip, a deal, a new acquaintance, and after a while it will become clear, this is how it should be. His gift is not a show, not public magic. It is a quiet internal system that works without failures. It is especially pronounced in his attitude towards loved ones. Cancer is able to feel the pain of a loved one even at a distance. He can wake up in the middle of the night if someone is causing harm to a loved one at that moment. He does not need proof. It just comes to him. Cancer's energy is tuned to invisible flows. He can touch a photograph and feel what happened to that person. He can sense what's wrong with the house, with the space, with things. He is like a conductor between dimensions, not a mystic in a black cloak, but a living person with a real ability to see deeper. His premonition of anxiety is especially dangerous. It is never wrong. If Cancer says that you need to wait, that now is not the time, it is better to listen. He catches shifts, micro cracks that ordinary people do not notice. God gave Cancer not just a sixth sense, but magical empathy. He is a guardian, a predictor, an emotional radar. Sometimes he himself does not realize how strong his gift is, but the one who is next to Cancer is always protected. He feels what a person is hiding, where it hurts, where the danger is, where the love is, and if Cancer trusts his inner voice, he can avoid the most difficult traps of life, anticipate the twists of fate, and lead those who have lost their compass. The second sign is Aries. Aries' magical gift is not a subtle premonition. It is a flash, a lightning strike, an energy explosion that is impossible not to notice. His sixth sense manifests itself in instant knowledge. Yes or no, danger or forward, stop or hit. The representative of this sign does not analyze, he knows. This knowledge comes like a blow to the chest, like a rush of blood to the face, like heat running along the spine. And strangely, it always turns out to be true. God endowed Aries with the ability to see the truth through noise, through lies, through other people's scenarios. His gut reacts faster than any analysis, and the more he trusts himself, the stronger his inner gift becomes. Aries is not prone to mysticism. He will not analyze his dreams for hours, but he will wake up and understand, today everything needs to be changed. And he will change. He will not hesitate. His strength is in the impulse that comes as if from above. Many great decisions in history were made by people born under this sign, precisely because they heard this inner call. They don't need proof, they need movement, and the magic of their intuition is precisely in this. They don't guess, they don't doubt, they jump. And the universe puts the ground under their feet. Aries feels alive physically. His stomach tightens, his blood pressure jumps, his fingers tremble. He may not explain what's wrong, but he feels it. And if he goes against this feeling, he will definitely face the consequences. His sixth sense is like an alarm. Loud, bold, sharp, but saving. And Aries also feels the moment. He can sit in complete silence and suddenly jump up, now, and be right. His life is full of decisions made instantly. And this is his divine gift. A fire lives in him that burns away the darkness. He doesn't feel people through compassion, he feels them through energy. It is not what you say that is important to him, but how you move. He reads bodies. He scans actions. His sixth sense is the gift of seeing strength or weakness, truth or cowardice. This is especially evident in moments of risk. When everyone is afraid, Aries goes and wins, because God gave him not just intuition, but an animal instinct to see the way through the flames. He rarely makes mistakes. His internal system is either silent or screams. And if it screams, it is better to listen, because there is higher knowledge behind it. And even if he cannot explain it, the result will say everything for him. Aries is a fighter of light. His magic is that he is always the first to sense where a new chapter begins. And he runs there while others are still discussing. Third sign, Pisces. Representatives of this sign have a sixth sense. Not just intuition, but a whole mystical channel connecting them with invisible dimensions. Pisces are born with a half-open third eye, through which they sense the subtle vibrations of the world that are not subject to logic. Their inner voice is not a whisper, but a song of the universe, sounding even through the silence. This gift can manifest itself in the most ordinary things, in a dream, in a barely perceptible sensation, in a random phrase. Pisces do not analyze, they just feel as if someone from the inside is gently pointing them in the direction. Pisces are those who can predict an event before it begins. They often have prophetic dreams, and their premonitions are often frighteningly accurate. They are able to instantly read a person's mood, catch a falsehood in a voice, feel a threat in the most harmless situation. Their soul is like a sensitive receiver, tuning into frequencies closed to others. When the world is rumbling with chaos, Pisces subtly perceive where the truth is and where the illusion is. Their sixth sense is especially vivid in moments of silence, solitude or meditation. Then they seem to go beyond the body, looking deep into the world. This sign is associated with the energies of the past, present and future. Pisces can read a person by his aura, feel his karma, sense the energy background of spaces. They unmistakably find weak points in the system, as if they see an energy map of what is happening. This is why there are so many spiritual practitioners, prophets, seers, artists and mystics among Pisces. They do not explain where they get their knowledge from, they just know. But their gift is not only the subtlety of perception, it is also the ability to heal, with a word, a touch, a look. Pisces often find themselves next to those who are feeling bad, because their energy can heal spiritual wounds. They feel the pain of another person as their own. This empathy is part of their psychic gift, sometimes exhausting, but always accurate. Pisces can recognize lies, even if they are hidden behind masks of goodwill, and feel goodness, even if it is timid and quiet. Their sixth sense does not always give answers in the form of clear thoughts. It is more like the music of the world, which they catch with their whole soul. When Pisces feel that they need to stop, they do not argue with this feeling. They know there is something more around the corner, and they are almost always right. Sometimes it seems to them that they are going the wrong way, but this is only because their path is not obvious. It is magical, unpredictable, deep. Where others need 100 arguments, Pisces is enough to change their whole life with one feeling. The sixth sense of Pisces is not a luxury, it is their way of being in this world. They connect the logical and the irrational, the earthly and the otherworldly, and this is their unique purpose. The fourth sign is Aquarius. The sixth sense of Aquarius is the impulse of the future, built into the very fabric of his consciousness. The representative of this sign is not just a thinking person, but a person who receives signals from the outside, far beyond ordinary perception. It is as if he is connected to some invisible information channel through which he receives fragments of future events, prospects, threats and opportunities. His sixth sense is not like awe or emotion. It is like a flash of lightning in the head, a sudden insight that he can share, or silently apply. Aquarius may not know where he gets his knowledge from, but this knowledge is often ahead of its time. He says things that will become relevant in years, senses changes weeks before they happen, captures the essence of a person at first glance. His intuition is in the form of insight. He seems to immediately see the result of any action, knows what even the most insignificant decisions lead to. He doesn't need predictions to sense danger. He can look into a person's eyes and understand that something is wrong with him. His intuition is unerring. Aquarius energy is always one step ahead. His sixth sense is especially evident in the sphere of ideas, technology, progress. He is able to predict what will be in demand, what events are coming, and even which people will play a key role in the future. He subtly feels where a new era begins, and that is where he directs his energy. Aquarius is often a pioneer, an inspirer, a prophet. He does not always realize how it works, he just lives in the flow. But the magic of Aquarius is not only in logical chains and clear guesses. He has a strong internal connection with subtle energies. A certain inner sage lives inside him, telling him when it is better to retreat and when to act. His intuition is an early warning system. He feels the emotional climate, catches waves of mistrust, inspiration or fear in the crowd. He can sense from a distance that someone close to him is in trouble, or vice versa, that now is the perfect time for change. This sign knows how to connect the incompatible. His sixth sense helps him to be a unique strategist, creator, visionary. And although many may not understand his actions, over time it becomes clear. Aquarius knew. He does not need an explanation. He sees reality through the lenses of the future. Aquarius' sixth sense is not a premonition in the usual sense. It is a super-perception, a gift to see not only what is, but also what has not yet become apparent. His soul knows the way to where no one has been before. And this is what makes him unique. The fifth sign is Gemini. The sixth sense of Gemini is the whisper of the wind, the electricity in the air, the word heard in a crowd that suddenly becomes a prophecy. The representative of this sign is connected to the flow of information the way others are connected to breathing. He does not just know, he catches. He catches ideas before they take shape in consciousness. He reads between the lines, between the pauses, between the glances. God gave Gemini a unique ability to see connections. Where others see disparate facts, Gemini feels a pattern. Where others get lost, they laugh. It was obvious. And the truth is that for them, many things are obvious. They can say a word that later turns out to be a prediction. They can come up with a joke that will become reality. They feel the movement of the world. Their magic is in contact with the field of events. Through speech, through ideas, through communication. They hear how reality changes, and they adapt to it, as if dancing with the future. Their intuition is especially evident in negotiations. They can instantly understand what a person wants to hide. They can change the direction of the conversation so that the interlocutor himself will give away everything necessary. This is not a cold calculation. This is a gift, an inner voice that whispers, "Ask this, don't believe, wait." And this voice is almost always right. Geminis can change plans a minute before the start, and it turns out that this saved them from collapse. They can change the route and meet the right person. Their sixth sense works through language. Sometimes they do not realize where these words came from in their heads, but they become the key. Their speech is magical. Their thoughts are guides. Their mood is a reflection of the invisible. And if Geminis learn to listen to themselves, slow down and read the signs that are given to them, they can predict the turns of fate with such accuracy that it scares even themselves. God gave them the ether, and they became those who whisper the future.